Author and publisher of UFO magazine. That means he must know something.
It is impossible to get an angle right now. Hello everybody, this is My Profile is Great, talking to you from the wonderful toilet that I am sitting in right now. Actually, it's called a bathtub. It's all in my bathroom though. It doesn't really matter what I call it. The lighting in my room still doesn't work, so you're probably going to get a lot of these kind of bathtub confessionals is what I'm calling them right now. It's basically where I am just sitting here trying to find someplace in my house where it could even be possible to do a proper recording with any kind of lighting whatsoever. And so basically, let me turn it around for you guys just because I think it's absolutely hilarious. Here's the shower. And here I am in comparison to the current environment. There's the toilet, there's the toilet paper. It's actually kind of cozy once you get used to it. The sound kind of has this weird echoey effect, but you get used to it. I don't necessarily like the fact that just about all of my family could probably hear me doing this right now, but that's okay. I just have to learn to come to grips with that. Usually in my room, it was a much more secure environment. I felt a lot more safe. Here, literally, once you open that door over there, it like leads right into the living room. So right now my dad's watching TV, and I told him, hey, if you hear any weird sounds coming out of there, like, I'm just recording a blog. I'm not doing anything else in there. So I'm probably going to be in here for about 30 minutes. So if you hear me making any weird sounds, don't worry about it, Dad. And he gave me this weird look like, yeah, right. What are you going to be recording in there? I honestly start to wonder, though, what family members in general would think after watching my blogs. And I guess I should talk about that because I think it's very fascinating of a topic. I'm starting to become really interested actually in what people in my real life would actually think. Like if I were to send somebody a link to like one of my videos and say, hey, you should actually listen to me talk about stuff. I do it on a semi-daily basis, when I do actually record, and it would be amazing to hear your guys' feedback. I imagine my brother would find it hilarious. He might not agree with everything that I would say on here. We have some disagreements on basic philosophical things, but that doesn't really matter. My dad would probably think I'm weird. My mom would think I'm hilarious and then start becoming concerned about whether, what I'm doing would stop me from getting into a certain kind of college, or whether ultimately, like, somebody would stumble upon it and, like, go, ooh, we shouldn't hire him. He makes weird internet blogs. That's a horrifying thing to discover about somebody. My girlfriend already hears me rant and rave about just about everything, so this wouldn't be anything new to her. This would just be a whole new perspective on that same sort of coin. She'd start to learn some interesting things about myself, like, oh, you like that show? Really? Bleh. Because honestly, sometimes, when you're talking to a camera, sometimes your opinions come out a lot differently than, when you talk to another individual in order to avoid conflict. Like when you're talking about movies with somebody and you're like, yeah, I didn't really care for that movie, but everybody has their own opinions, as opposed to if you were doing a blog about it, in which case you'd be like, no, screw that movie. That movie can go to hell and die. That's my hell sound, by the way. It's usually when I go. So yeah. Stuff. Speaking of new things, though, since I'm actually just talking about little things that have been happening in my life, take a look at my hair, man. Like, even from the last vlog that I recorded, I got this haircut, and I think it looks really, really stylish, especially with a little goatee going on right here. I'm not really sure if you would even call it a goatee. This is going to go soon. I do not like this stubbly, really stuff at all. This is a product of me being lazy. I was actually quite pleased by some of the comments in my last video where people were like, yeah, man, rock that beard. And I was like, woo! But then I started to think about it and I was like, does this really suit me that well? And really, I don't think so. I don't know. It makes me look too tough. I don't think I'm that tough of a person to really pull off the bristly stuff. I do like to play with it, though. I do notice that when I'm in class, I'll just be sitting there and I'll be stroking, like, the beard, just subconsciously. And I wonder if people are like, wow, that really looks masculine, or wow, that guy really needs to stop picking at his hairs. It's absolutely ridiculous. The hair, though, I like it short. I like it short because I don't have to deal with anything when it's short. You know, when you have long hair, you gotta deal with washing it and all that, like having to deal with getting every single area. With it short, you just put it under the water, just put some soap in there, and it is done. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to comb it. There's no like frantic energy to it. It is just some flat little rag on top of your head, and it is fabulous that way. I think that's what ultimately makes fashion is the complete lack of effort on my part. That is what makes me interested in looking fabulous the way that I do. And other than that, other real life things, my PlayStation 3 broke, which means that I no longer have a Blu-ray player and I no longer have a video game system through which I should engage myself. I do have a computer and I do have a phone, and those two things have basically become my two outlets into the gaming world. Temple Run, I have got some wicked high scores on there. I actually want to post some of those because I think it would be interesting to actually like go, hey, this is my high score on Temple Run. What did you guys get on Temple Run? In case any of my subscribers have any real high scores, that would be so much fun. Just to like do like a little competition on that, you know, if you guys were honest about your scores, and you really should be, because I want a goal to strive for other than, you know, the normal achievements, which most of them I'm beginning to realize after you play enough Temple Run and you get really good. Like 4 million, that isn't that much of an achievement. It's there, it's plausible, but I really want to strive to beat the hell out of my subscribers on things. So you know what? If you've got Temple Run high scores, post them down here, and I'll probably do a Temple Run video one of these days talking about my horrible addiction to it. The Captain America game, the other iPhone game that I'm currently playing, is not as great as Temple Run, and it cost $1, so I actually had to pay something for it, as opposed to the other ones. You have that sloppy iPhone kind of like movie tie-in structure, which is fine, just as long as you're not paying more than $1 for it. If you're paying more than $1, that's your problem, man. I just wait for the sales to happen. It's not like Street Fighter 4. Man, they released one of the Marvel vs. Capcom games on the iPhone, and I have got to get me one of those. That just looks phenomenal. I love the 2D sprites going at each other. Like, you got Spider-Man, and then you got Captain America, and then you got Jill from like Resident Evil, and you've got some other chick from some other game I don't know of, and they're all just duking it out. And it's incredible. It's just such a lightning fest. It's like fireworks going off on your phone. Oh, man, I need that. I am such an iPhone addict. It's not even funny anymore. Phone addict. Let's not use the term iPhone, because I realize a lot of people find that annoying, because I tend to associate like any smartphone with like an iPhone. And I realize there's a lot of other alternatives besides that. And I need to learn to acknowledge those people as well. Even though I love my phone. I really do. But I have a hard time handling the... Oh, it's a Chihuahua rampage out there. Bark, 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 bark. It's always fantastic. With the Chihuahua rampage, maybe I should stop here. I think I've filled you guys in on everything that's important about, you know, the geek side of things. There are always some topics that are always too personal to talk about, you know, in front of a phone to people on the internet. But, you know, that's to really be expected. I'm not going to open everything up to you. Just, you know, a small portion, everything that I want to. Okay, so until then, maybe next week I'll actually stay focused on something and give you guys some great insight on something delightfully geeky. I really hope so, because I like this. This is starting to give me a nostalgic rush. Okay, so until then, later.